Hey, what's going on? Ryan Knowlton here with another classic albums show where we discuss some of my favorite records and albums that you may or may not be familiar with. This week we are going to talk about the 1977 classic record by Santana called Moonflower. This is released in October of 77, and it's a mix. It's a double album. It's a mix of both live and studio songs. So they'll do some studio stuff and then they'll meld it perfectly into some live stuff. And it gives you a really good taste of some classic Santana, what they are working on in 77. This album, of course, has Carlos Santana on lead guitar. Carlos does not sing, and he never did really sing. Here's a picture of Carlos from 77. And then his band members on this record, okay? David Walker down here is the lead singer. Tom Coster, who's from Detroit, is a keyboard player on this record and several records in this era. Tom Coster is so good. He's kind of the Jan Hammer to John McLaughlin, okay? So Santana's amazing. Coster adds these synthy things, mini moog and stuff over the top of some of these songs. You got Pablo Tellez on bass. He's the bass player on the live stuff. David Margan is the studio bass player on this record. Raul Recco on percussion. Jose Chepta Arias on percussion. Peter Escovedo also on percussion for just the studio stuff. So that's Escovedo there. Anyway, let's get into this record. This thing is my favorite. So over the years, I've owned lots of stuff multiple times. I've probably owned a copy of this in some format more than any record. I think I've bought this on CD 3 times because I've either lost it, somebody stole it, or I just wore it out, literally. This record opens up with an absolutely beautiful song called Dawn. And by the way, you may have noticed on the liner notes that Santana's calling himself Devadeep here, right? It's a Hindu name given to himself. There's lots of meditation type music here. And it opens up with a song called Dawn. Dawn is a little 2-minute and 44-second song. It's a slow climb. Costner is playing keys. It builds into this great piano piece, and I put smiles galore. It just makes you happy. Throw this record on when you're in the car, you're on a road trip, you're by yourself probably, maybe is the best way to enjoy this record. This is a studio piece. It's called Dawn/Go Within. The second song is called Carnival. Of course, Carnival is a big celebration down in South America. Starts with this conga percussion thing. Again, there's 3 guys on congas, one of which is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, along with the original band. Jose Arias has been with Santana since day one. Still in the band at this point. Carnival is just incredible. Come on, let's go to Carnival. Let's start to sing and dance. Right? I mean, it's trancy. Yes, it's partying. It's time and sing and dance, my love. It's so good. Again, Tom Coster on keys is just so good here. I mean, that's only a 2-minute and 17-second song before you go into the third song, Let the Children Play. It's just beautiful. Santana's finally joins the party. So these first 2 tracks are very keyboard heavy. And then finally Santana makes his presence known. And it's just an explosion. That song, Let Your Children Play, is as good as Santana gets for me. By the way, the album that preceded this record is Festival. Okay? Again, there's Santana on the back. Some of the songs in this live record are from this. So Carnival, Let the Children Play are both on this record, as you can see. And again, look at Carlos. Devadeep, Carlos Santana. Look closely at that, right? Anyway, I recommend both these records. Let the Children Play is as good as Santana gets in this era. Again, Santana's made his presence known. Boom. He's playing is beautiful. Gigando is the next song. Again, more percussion. It's kind of a percussive interlude, really, and then the fiery, dynamic fusion of Santana bursts in. It's just beautiful. Tom's playing on that too is incredible. The next song, the fifth song on side one of the first album, is a song called "I'll Be Waiting." You know, this Greg Walker is just a fantastic singer for Santana. I've seen Santana probably 10 times. He's had many different singers over the years. You know, Greg Raleigh was the original singer at Woodstock, if you will. Speaking of Woodstock, check out my Les Paul Special. This is the guitar that Santana would have played at Woodstock, okay? It's a special because it doesn't have the trapezoid inlay. It's just dots. These are P90 pickups. Look at that beautiful mahogany. Anyway, back to this review. I'll Be Waiting is just a beautiful song with a charming keyboards. Again, I call it the Love Boat lounge music sound. Remember the show The Love Boat and the kind of the late 70s thing with maybe you dance with Vicky on the Love Boat in the lounge. Greg Walker's singing is just beautiful. You are the light and you are the way. You are the light and the way. I'll be waiting. Flip the album over. Little percussive piano, and then my notes say it's like a pimp on a motorcycle. Just imagine a pimp with his flowing hair and maybe his fringes on his coat riding on a motorcycle. It's pimped out to the max. Loungy fusion. The song's called Zulu. And that's actually Zulu is actually the last song on Peter Escovedo on percussion. That's the last song on the first side of the album. Flip the first album over and you have Baja. It's a little 1 minute and 37 second studio piece. It's a perfect little interlude into Black Magic Woman, Gypsy Queen. Of course, Black Magic Woman's on the first Santana album. It's a song written by Peter Green of Fleetwood Mac back in '67. It's all you want Black Magic Woman to be, and Gypsy Queen for that matter. It's just the percussions before Santana takes off is incredible. The tone. So he had been using these SGs, right? He's now switched to a Yamaha SG 2000. It's a different guitar, Japanese made. His tone on this album is so incredible. What is guitar tone? Great guitar tone is when you can just feel that guitar through you. I mean, there's no mistaking it. The sustain, the explosion at the 4 minute and 5 second mark is just incredible. Sustain for days. This is great Santana for not only obviously the novice fan who wants a jumping off point for Santana, but even for the grizzled veteran Santana fans, it's unmistakably great. Dance, Sister, Dance is the next song. My notes say, the streets of Brazil are alive, and the women with the beaded dresses are swirling and twisting around, and the lights hanging from the chandeliers in the streets and the wires in a cloudless, star-filled night. It's just incredible. The rhythm section is alive. Santana is giving his band space. One thing Santana does, whether you see him live in concert and he's still great, or on these albums, is it's not just all in-your-face guitar work. He'll have songs where it's 2 minutes of drums and then some keyboards, then he comes in. He is a master at letting his band play. And that leads us into another example, Europa. My daughter Zoe and I drove from St. Louis to Bethel, New York, and saw Santana in 2017 at the original site of Woodstock. And as we got a few hours out, I put Moonflower on because I wanted her to hear some of the songs. And when Europa came on, she got it. she understood that she's about to see somebody that's very special, and he did play that song that night. Europa is this change of pace instrumental. It's just oozing with emotion. It's Santana in all of his glory with his, again, sustain. The sustain as a guitar at the 2-minute and 27-second mark is just, it's just phenomenal. That is all of the first album. We are now going to flip this album over and again, check out the cover. So those are mountains. I don't know where the mountains are, with clouds in a moonflower, a flora de luna, right? Moonflower. It opens up with She's Not There. She's Not There is a Zombies cover song. It's actually their first hit song. It goes to number 27 in the charts, and it's their first hit song since No One to Depend On in 1972. This is a better version than the Zombies' She's Not There. Let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Greg Walker's vocals are killer. It's everything that I would love to be able to sing like. Of course, there's a vibraphone thing opening it. I don't know if that's Tom on the keys because it doesn't say that there's any vibraphone, but almost like mallets, on wooden vibraphone bars. It's just a perfect vocal. The solo at the 1-minute 41-second mark is incredible. That solo is being played over beautiful bass playing again by David Morgan. Flora de Luna is the next song. That means moonflower. Let's call that the title track. It's a beautiful ballad, again showing the tender side of Carlos Santana. Carlos Santana can hold you in his grip and just dominate. And he can also just, let you just soak up the warmth of his beautiful playing and put you out in the sun where you need to be. Again, my notes say a slow dance at the Regal Beagle. Maybe you're going to have that a second dance with Vicky on the Love Boat. That kind of 70s. Remember those candles, those red candles that they have at old restaurants with a yellow light inside? It's glass candles, right? Those are all over the tables. So it's Latin Charm classic. Flora de Luna. Check that song out on Moonflower. Soul Sacrifice. Of course, Soul Sacrifice is one of the classic songs that he did at Woodstock when he was tripping acid so bad he thought his guitar neck was a snake and he was chasing the snake around, right? You're literally chasing it around trying to figure out what you're doing here. Well, I don't think he's on acid here, but it's just a beautiful percussion song. It's a 13-minute party. It's the Santana Orchestra at this point. We have the Mahavishnu Orchestra. This is the Santana Orchestra. Him allowing people to do their parts, and he's just so patient with his playing and giving, and allows his band to shine. They're playing in the sandbox well. El Morocco, studio composed song, bass playing, the keys are incredible. Carlos cuts through the mix with the fusion. Again, Mahavishnu Orchestra. It reminds me of Jeff Beck's Blow by Blow and his Wired album, which came out a year before. Wired came out in 76. This is 77. This has got to be influenced there. Transcendence is the next song. It's another serene studio ballad. Again, the vocals of Greg Walker and the Tom Coster keyboards. He says, so long until we meet again. Keep on dancing and keep on smiling, right? Boy, so long until we meet again. The last song is Savior / Toussaint El Overture. It's a 13-minute composition. This song is from the original band, the Michael Shreve, Greg Raleigh, Santana band that played Woodstock. That's a composition from then, being played yet again live. That is all of this record. It's a double album. I highly, highly recommend this record. Moonflower to anybody that's either had it and lost it or forgot about it. Dig it out. Go to your local record store. Go to Euclid Records in St. Louis or Vintage Vinyl in St. Louis. Buy this record. Peace out. I appreciate you watching my channel. Subscribe to my channel. We do stuff every single day, or at least we're going to try to. Again, be good to one another. See ya.